Every year, people disappear in the world's most dangerous mountain ranges, from the towering peaks of the Himalayas to the rugged slopes of the Alps. Despite the best efforts of search teams, many of these individuals are never found, leaving behind nothing but questions and a trail of mysteries. The mountains, beautiful yet treacherous, seem to have a strange ability to swallow those who venture into their vast wilderness. But what happens to these missing people? Where do they go? And why does it seem that some places are particularly prone to disappearances? The Himalayan Enigma. Let's start with one of the most famous mountain ranges, the Himalayas. Known for its towering peaks, including Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth, the Himalayas have become a site of fascination and fear. Every year, climbers and trekkers venture into the region, often to never return. One of the most haunting stories comes from the area surrounding Mount Everest. In 1924, two British climbers, George Mallory and Andrew Irvine, disappeared while attempting to reach the summit. Their bodies have never been found, despite multiple search expeditions. Some believe they reached the top but perished on their descent, while others speculate that a supernatural force may have played a role in their disappearance. But the Himalayas are not just home to mountaineering tragedies. The region is also surrounded by local legends that speak of strange phenomena, such as mysterious lights or the Yeti, a creature said to haunt the mountain peaks. Could these disappearances be linked to something more than just bad weather or physical accidents? Some think the answer lies in these age-old stories, with some even suggesting that people may have encountered something not of this world. The Alps, where the lost are never found. Next, we travel to the Alps, Europe's most famous mountain range, which stretches across several countries, including Switzerland, Austria, and Italy. While many climbers and hikers visit the Alps for their natural beauty, the mountains are not forgiving. One particularly baffling case occurred in 1954 when a young Swiss woman named Yvonne disappeared while hiking alone in the Swiss Alps. Despite an extensive search, no trace of her was ever found. Strangely, witnesses reported seeing her earlier that day, and many believe she was in good health with no reason to vanish. Theories surrounding her disappearance include everything from an accidental fall to more sinister possibilities. Some have even suggested that she may have been taken by an unknown force or even a supernatural presence. The Alps have been the site of numerous disappearances, many of which remain unsolved to this day. With so many people disappearing without a trace, it's no wonder that theories surrounding paranormal activity have gained traction. Some suggest that the mountains may be home to ancient forces or entities that manipulate time and space, causing people to vanish without a single clue. Unexplained theories. Is it more than just nature? While many of the disappearances can be explained by natural factors like avalanches, extreme weather, or physical exhaustion, there are cases that simply don't add up. For some, the eerie silence of these mountains, the feeling of being watched, and the inability to find any trace of the missing person point to something beyond the ordinary. One theory suggests that certain areas of the mountains are natural vortices, places where the laws of physics are altered and people can get lost in time or space. Could these vortexes be responsible for some of the disappearances? Or perhaps these areas are connected to another dimension, where people step in and never return. Other theories delve into the possibility of ancient mountain spirits or creatures that guard the sacred peaks, taking those who stray too far from the beaten path. Local legends tell of mystical forces that protect the mountains, and some believe these spirits may be responsible for removing those who attempt to conquer the wilderness. The mystery of missing people in the mountains continues to captivate us. Whether it's the high altitudes of the Himalayas or the treacherous cliffs of the Alps, the mountains seem to have a strange allure and a dangerous pull. While many of the disappearances can be explained by natural causes, there are still far too many that leave us with more questions than answers. So the next time you hear a story of someone who has vanished in the mountains, remember, the mountains are not just a beautiful, majestic wonder. They are also a place where nature hides its secrets, and sometimes those secrets can never be uncovered. The case of the disappearing explorers. One of the most perplexing mysteries comes from the Tian Shan Mountains in Central Asia, an isolated and treacherous range that has witnessed multiple unexplained disappearances. In 1959, a group of 9 experienced Russian hikers set out for an expedition through the mountains. Their bodies were found later, but the circumstances of their deaths remain unexplained. The hikers' tent was discovered slashed open from the inside, and their belongings left behind. Some were found in their underwear, suggesting that they had fled the tent in panic, yet no signs of struggle or immediate threats were visible. Investigators were baffled by the mysterious cause of their deaths. The case, known as the Dyatlov Pass incident, has since fueled numerous conspiracy theories, from encounters with military tests to the possibility of a violent supernatural force. Some have even speculated about the involvement of a yeti or another creature lurking in the cold, unforgiving terrain. The mystery of Dyatlov Pass remains unsolved to this day, adding another layer to the dark reputation of mountains as places where people vanish without a trace. The Mountains of the North, Canada's disappearing hikers. North America also has its fair share of strange disappearances in its mountain ranges. The Canadian Rockies, known for their stunning beauty, have seen several unexplained cases of hikers and climbers vanishing. One such case is that of a man named Henry L. Burris, who in 1942 disappeared while hiking with a group in the remote wilderness of British Columbia. Despite the best search efforts, including the use of search dogs and aerial surveys, Henry's body was never found. Locals have often spoken of eerie occurrences in the area, including unexplainable sounds and strange shadows moving through the forest. Some people claim to have encountered strange figures watching from a distance, but reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread whenever they got too close to certain areas in the Rockies. Could these disappearances be connected to local legends about spirits or guardians of the mountains? Or could there be something more grounded in natural mystery, like areas of unexplained electromagnetic activity that distort perceptions? The Appalachian Mountains, a place of shadows. The Appalachian Mountains, stretching from the eastern United States all the way down to Georgia, have long been known for their haunting folklore and strange occurrences. The dense forests and deep ravines hide many secrets, and people who have ventured into these wildernesses have sometimes come back with chilling stories of vanishing trails, bizarre sounds, and disorienting effects. In 1958, a couple went hiking along the Appalachian Trail, but never returned. Their final known location was near a remote area in North Carolina, but despite several search teams being sent, no trace of them was found. Their disappearance sparked rumors of the Brown Mountain Lights, strange lights that have been spotted in the region for centuries. Could these lights be some kind of natural phenomenon, or are they linked to the lost souls of those who disappear in the area? Many other hikers have reported feelings of being watched, hearing whispers, or noticing shadows moving in the corners of their eyes. Some even claim to have encountered figures who appear to be people, but when approached, they vanish into thin air. Are these just coincidences, or is something far more sinister at play in the shadows of the Appalachian Mountains? The Amazon, where the jungle meets the mountains. The Andes Mountains in South America rise from the heart of the Amazon jungle, a region that has long been associated with danger, isolation, and mystery. While the dense Amazon rainforest is often the focal point of paranormal stories, the surrounding Andean peaks have their own share of strange disappearances. In the late 1970s, an American explorer named Richard Preston set out on an expedition to the Andes with a group of scientists. They were studying the biodiversity of the mountain's cloud forests when they inexplicably vanished without a trace. Their disappearance sparked an international search, but despite numerous expeditions, No bodies were recovered and no clear explanation was given. The remote nature of the Andes, combined with the oppressive atmosphere of the jungle, has led some to speculate that ancient forces or unknown wildlife may play a role in these disappearances. Could it be that the mountains, long a cradle for ancient civilizations, hold secrets that are not meant to be uncovered? Or perhaps there are unknown predators that have evolved in the mountains, preying on anyone who dares to explore their hidden depths. The role of modern technology in finding the lost. While ancient mysteries and paranormal theories abound, technology has changed the way we search for missing people in the mountains. Drones, infrared cameras, and satellite imagery have helped locate lost hikers and mountaineers who would otherwise be impossible to find. Every year, people disappear in the world's most dangerous mountain ranges, from the towering peaks of the Himalayas to the rugged slopes of the Alps. Despite the best efforts of search teams, many of these individuals are never found, leaving behind nothing but questions and a trail of mysteries.